بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم ولعن أعداءهم. Responsibility number 8 towards the Imam of our time, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, is to strengthen our relationship with the Holy Qur'an. The Holy Prophet ﷺ left behind for us two things. If we were to hold on to them, then we will never go astray, as he himself said. كتاب الله وعترتي أهل بيتي وإنهما لن يفترقا حتى يرد علي الحوض. The book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and my progeny, my Ahl al-Bayt. They will never separate from one another until they reach me on the Hawd, on the pond of Kawthar, on the Day of Judgment. That being said, we must keep in mind that the Holy Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, when he appears and when he returns, he will be acting on the Holy Qur'an and he will be implementing the Holy Qur'an the way that it has not been implemented before, except by the Holy Prophet, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Salamullahi Ta'ala Alayh, and of course the Imam himself, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. The Holy Qur'an is the book of guidance, and so too the Imam is the Imam and leader of guidance. Guidance comes from the Holy Qur'an as well as Ahl al-Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, and the Prophet said, "Ma in tamassaktum bihima," that so long as you hold on to the both of them, then you won't be misguided. So, in order to know the Imam of our time, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, better, meaning his akhlaq, meaning his beliefs, meaning his way of governing, meaning how he treats non-Muslims and Muslims and mu'mineen, and so on and so forth, we must familiarize ourselves with the Holy Qur'an, on which he will act and which he will revive. We recite in Dua al-Nudba for on the days of Fridays and of every Eid, of course, أين المؤمل لإحياء الكتاب وحدوده. Where is the one, and we're speaking of the Imam himself, where is the one who we hope will revive the Holy Qur'an and the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and its hudud, meaning its rules, meaning its principles, and so on and so forth. The Imam of our time, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, not necessarily will come with a new Qur'an or something we hadn't seen before. Rather, he comes with the implementation of that Qur'an, which we did not see. So, to familiarize ourselves more with that mission of his and what he will be doing and how he'll be governing and so on and so forth, we must strengthen our relationship with the Holy Qur'an. The Holy Qur'an itself speaks of the Qur'an, and it says, إِنَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ يَهْدِي لِلَّتِي هِيَ أَقْوَمُ. Verily this Qur'an guides to that which is the best, the most right, the most correct. And the Imam of our time, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, as well is like that. The Imam is the Imam and leader of guidance, but he acts on the Holy Qur'an, and he doesn't stray away from the Holy Qur'an. And the Qur'an itself calls to the Imam. This is a strong relationship between the two. The Qur'an, the speaking Qur'an is the Imam, and the silent Qur'an is the book. For example, in a narration narrated by Imam Salamullahi Ta'ala Alayh, the Imam says, إِنَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ يَهْدِي لِلَّتِي هِيَ أَقْوَمُ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْإِمَامِ. That the path that is most right and most correct and that takes you to the right destination, takes you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, takes you to heaven, that is speaking of the Imam. Why? Because the Imam is the Imam of guidance and the Imam of the mu'mineen, and the one who will take you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Holy Qur'an is what the Imam will implement, is what the Imam will revive. Therefore, we must familiarize ourselves more with it, such as, for example, contemplating upon its verses, reading tafsir books, reading tafsir narrations of Ahl al-Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, reciting it more, strengthening our relationship with it, because we cannot claim to be Shi'as of the Imam and followers of him and lovers of him and neglect and disregard the book on which he will act and which he will implement, and the book that will be his book of governing, as it is the book of guidance and the book of everything that brings us happiness and success in this world and in the afterlife. May Allah give us tawfiq to do so, inshaAllah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.